And good morning, all of you. Well, you saw you had a great day yesterday. We had a lot of conversation about solutions, innovative solutions, deployment of those solutions, and the barriers to deployment of those solutions. We're going to start off today by looking at what are we doing to prepare the workforce of the future who are going to carry this forward, right? And essentially, we are going to talk about the kids who are currently in the elementary school, middle school, high school, the K-12, pre-college. That is what we are going to talk about, and also how to inspire them, right? One thing different about this talk is that yesterday, I'm sure you all missed that there were no PowerPoint slides used, right? This is based on PowerPoint slides. So you're going to have to look at some PowerPoint slides. But again, my name is Amer. I'm with the American Society of Civil Engineers. And I'm a transportation engineer by background, and also the dad of an elementary school kid. And I can tell you that it is not easy being a transportation engineer and the dad of an elementary school kid. Because every time you get in the car and every time you get stuck in the traffic, you are reminded that you overpromised and underdelivered, right? But the great thing about that is that kids can connect with the experience of the cities of today, and they think about the cities of the future. So a little bit about the American Society of Civil Engineers. There are lots of some numbers you see on the screen, but the most important thing that I wanted to convey to you is that we are a global organization with a large membership involved in the infrastructure experience, and then we've been around for a long time. We are actually coming up with our 175th anniversary next year. One of the important things I wanted to focus also is towards the bottom of the screen is the number of student chapters and younger member chapters that we have in North America and also around the world. While the focus here is going to be about a pre-college outreach and K-12 program, one of the programs we call Future World Vision, we are involved in a whole slew of activities, what I call the 360 degrees of the infrastructure experience, from K-12 to pre-college, to college and beyond, continuing education of professionals, lifelong learning, professional certification, publications from journals, research, standards, guidelines, and everything in between, advocacy, public policy, and you name it. So it's all of it, but we are going to focus on the K-12 part of it today. Let's see if we can get this moving. Okay, so when you talk about inspiration of the younger generation, there are many factors that are involved. But the Future World Vision program of ASCE is focused on the last two bullets that you see, right? It's basically early storytelling at the early age, and also about the use of technology and visualization. Essentially, with the K-12 focus, another way to look at it is that we are all familiar with this proverb, right? So Future World Vision focuses on the bottom two, right? You want them to remember, and you want them to understand and experience to be able to get excited and motivated and be involved into this. Future World Vision program essentially has some basic underlying philosophy that is based on something that we talked about a lot yesterday, which is that the distant future is tomorrow. 2070 is tomorrow. 2050 is tomorrow. We build things for multi-decades. We still are using infrastructure from decades ago. So that is something that is critical to build that philosophy, that distant future is tomorrow. Also, we have built and imagined some scenarios of future cities that are deeply researched by subject matter experts from multidisciplinary fields and put them in the form of some visualizations, interactive visualizations, and that's a critical part of it. And we have created classroom projects and lesson plans and all of those kinds of things. So again, The first one that I've broken it into two parts. The first one is that I see and I remember, and by that I mean Hollywood, and by that I mean movies, and by that I mean the IMAX screen. ASCE has released Cities of the Future as an IMAX movie from the deeply researched future scenarios that I talked about. And the movie basically takes you through the lives of some engineers who travel around the world, identifying that future is happening today, looking at some great solutions, great projects, and then mentoring a group of kids who are going for the Future City competition. The story weaves into the mentoring part and the travels part, right? As I said, it's Hollywood. It is truly Hollywood. John Krasinski is the narrator of the movie, voted sexiest man alive. He's not on the screen, but his voice is there. He also has actually, if you go to YouTube and if you look up Cities of the Future ASCE, and you look up John Krasinski, there is a little video of his excitement about the future of cities. He's really passionate about sustainable future of the cities. I'll play a quick preview of the IMAX movie.
Imagine a world where life on Earth is totally sustainable. Solar energy powers entire cities. Flying cars travel on highways in the sky. This isn't science fiction. The creators of Dream Big invite you on a journey into the future, where today's engineers are designing solutions that will change the way we live forever. From electric flying taxis and aerial highways, to greener buildings and infrastructure, to solar energy captured in space that will provide clean energy 24 hours a day. Welcome to the future. Discover a new vision of hope for the world. And see tomorrow as our greatest opportunity. Cities of the Future. A film for IMAX and giant screen theaters.
So this IMAX movie is running around the country, and at several locations around the world in museums and science centers. The nearest one here is in Orlando and also in Tallahassee. There's one in Fort Lauderdale, actually, at the Museum and Science Center over there. You can visit the site and look at more. But the other thing I wanted to mention is that IMAX platform, the power, is that we released the first movie in the city. It's called the Dream Big, where you take the story of a young girl who experiences an earthquake and then makes a decision that she's going to do something about the infrastructure and how it gets impacted. And then it gets into the story of mega projects and some exciting ways to teach kids on how this is done and drive that passion and belief that they can be involved in this. So to give you an example, for Dream Big, it ran in 90 museums and science centers, 3 million in-person views, 3 million views through Netflix, plus 110,000 DVDs. This was 2017 when Dream Big was released. 110,000 DVDs sent every single school in America. And that's the power of this. And we're not just doing these movies because the next part on this is related to I do and I understand. So where is the content for these movies coming? What are we doing with the research that went behind it, right? Virtual reality platform called Megacity 2070 is one example. So with that, we are talking about downloadable experience of an app where you walk into a city of the future and you touch on everything that you see and it interact with it. And it tells you what it is about, and you can post comments on it and have discussions around it, right? I'll just very quickly run through the interface itself. You can look at the city level, at the district level, and at the street level. And as you can see here, it's automated pavement maintenance. You can click on that. You can learn about the research on it. You can interact with others who are in the virtual environment and essentially have a full-blown virtual experience. There is also the VR goggles version of this for a guided online tour. And then we are also have some concepts on future cities, including the floating city and the off-planet city, the rural city, and so forth, right? Now, lastly, we also have educational content. I know this is too little to read, but basically these are lesson plans and classroom projects on everything that you see in the movies and in the virtual reality platforms, and applied to every grade from grade 1 all the way to grade 12. These are the various aspects. All of these that you see are different areas of our infrastructure experience that is designed for the kids. And all of these topics are super exciting, made for classrooms. Again, lesson plans for the teacher and class projects for the students. Finally, I will end up with learning a lot more about ASCE and what we do. We are coming together in Philadelphia next year for a grand convention called ASCE 2027, where all of this and everything that we do around infrastructure is going to be discussed. Do look it up. This was a short duration, so there is very deep dive involved in everything that I've talked about. If you are interested, please do take a picture of this slide, because there is a website behind everything that I've said, and you could learn more about that. But with that, I'd like to thank you all and hope you have a wonderful day and the rest of the conference.